Hello everyone, today we're going to run through the Lancôme Spring 2011 summer products. I was very excited to film this video because I can show you guys my Lancôme waterproof liners. And as many of you know, I absolutely adore the Lancôme art liner. The original formula is incredible and it's my everyday liner, especially because my favorite look to wear is a cat eye. I purchased Scorched and Lancôme generously sent me the Beach Gem. I'm wearing Beach Gem on my lower lash line and Scorched on my upper lash line. And today I created a look with these products that focus primarily on the eyeliner and focused on really great looking skin. So the eyeshadow is very minimal and it's also very simple to achieve. I wanted to create a look that was appropriate for the beach, and personally when I think of beach makeup, I think of great eyeliner and great skin. But the intention behind the look that I created today is to focus most of the attention on the eyeliner and use the eyeshadow to really bring out the features of the eyeliners. I actually prefer the original art liner, but these waterproof art liners are truly waterproof. I've actually slept in this before, and as bad as that is for your skin, this art liner does not budge. So if you have very oily skin and you have a hard time finding an eyeliner that will stay put on those lids, definitely check this out. Next I have the new bronzer. This is an O2 Solaire. There's also an O3 in Riche, but that's actually a little too dark for me. O2 is just perfect. It has a sunray pattern with flowers, and this product is most similar to Dior's Original Tan bronzer. I actually prefer this bronzer simply because I feel like, number one, the color's better, and number two, it's more long lasting than the Dior Original Tan bronzer. I'm a huge fan of the Dior matte bronzer, but I always felt that the Dior Original bronzer could use a little bit more lasting power, and that's where this new Lancôme bronzer comes in. Plus the packaging on this is really sturdy and it flips open with a strong magnetic closure so that the top doesn't flap around while you're trying to put on your bronzer. Next I have the Heatwave eyeshadow quad. It has really simple packaging and comes with 4 shades. This one's beige, peachy keen, dark brown, and copper. This is a great neutral quad for all year round, and I'll definitely be getting a lot of mileage out of this. If you're the kind of girl that wears neutrals but you don't want to splurge on something from Chanel or Dior, I highly recommend this quad because you will wear it every day. Now for my nails, I'm wearing the Sarong nail polish, which is the limited edition for this summer. I absolutely love Lancôme nail polishes. I think they wear better than Chanel's. They apply just as well, but they're a little bit cheaper. The brush is not too thin and it's really easy to use. This particular color, if you can see, has gold and silver micro shimmers, and this polish wears really well. I've worn this nail polish for 5 days now and I only have chips on my 2 index fingers. So right at the top and right at the side. But they're so small that you can barely see them. And one of my favorite pieces from this collection is the Paradise Peach Color Fever Gloss. This gloss is slightly on the sheer side, but has really fine gold particles that really give a 3-dimensional look to your lips, so it really plumps them out and makes them look really luscious. Next I have 3 new products that are permanent launches. This is the Lancôme Absolute New Pale Petal Lipstick. This is number 311, and this is my new favorite medium pink. It's slightly on the cooler side, but it's a flattering shade for all skin tones, and this lipstick is even more moisturizing than the original Absolute formula. I highly recommend this. It's the perfect pink to wear to the beach. Next I have the Taunt Miracle Highlighter Pen. You may use this all over your face like a really sheer foundation, but I prefer to use it more like a concealer and highlight my under eyes. I really don't have dark circles, so I don't really need a concealer, but this pen really helps to illuminate my under eyes and brighten up my skin. I currently use this product in 03, and I have to admit it rivals Yves Saint Laurent's Touche Eclat, and honestly at the moment I can't say which I prefer because I love both of them. And last but not least, Lancôme has released a new Oscillation Mascara. This is called Oscillation Intensity. And I must admit, I am not a fan of the original Oscillation Mascara. For me, the brush was just a little too thin, a little too long, and I just didn't see the results that I get with the Lancôme Hypnose Waterproof, which is my Holy Grail Day Mascara. The new brush is much larger, and for me at least, a lot easier to apply. So if you were like me and the Oscillation Original did not impress you, I highly recommend you try this out because I absolutely love it. Now I'm sure you guys have had enough with the review. Let's get on with the tutorial and we'll be starting with foundation. Today I'm going to begin with Teint Idole Fresh Wear, and this is one of my favorite summer foundations because it's so lightweight. I'll be using shade Buff 6W, and while this shade is just a touch light for me, this foundation does oxidize, meaning that it will change color once it settles into my skin and absorbs with my face's natural oils. Plus, we're gonna warm it up with some bronzer, so don't panic. And now that the foundation's on, I'm gonna let it sink in for a couple minutes. As you can see, it's slightly lighter, but it's not significantly lighter, so it's going to warm up. Now, I rarely powder this foundation unless I know I won't have any time whatsoever to touch up later that day. So I'm actually going to just use bronzer. I'll be using the Star 02 bronzer. Sweep up a bit of the product and tap off the excess. Then you're going to sculpt your jawline. I personally like to do this first and then bring the bronzer straight down to my neck. Then I take it right along my cheekbone just to give it a slight contour. I'm gonna take it all the way through the temple and right around my hairline. And using whatever product is left on your brush, don't dip back into the bronzer. Take it down the nose and right across the tops of your cheeks, just where the sun would hit. You can also dab a little bit on your chin. I'm going to fill in my eyebrows using the Giorgio Armani eyebrow pencil in number 2. I'm just going to lightly fill in and give my eyebrows some shape. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to be using my By Terry Eye Primer. Now I'm going to take my Top Miracle pen and highlight my under eyes. And I'm going to blend this in with a brush. You can use your fingers if you would like. I just happen to have this brush on hand. I'm going to bring it straight down toward the end of my nose and bring it up straight across to the outer end of my eye right here. Now we're going to start with the eyeshadows. This is the Heat Wave palette. I'm going to start with this golden color here. Using a flat shader brush, I'm going to apply that all along the brow bone. Bring it down to the inner corner. If there's one thing in makeup that I really dislike, it's an overly obvious eyebrow highlight. So that's why I like to take my finger and bring the shadow down toward the lid to blend it out. Next I'm going to take this burnished copper here and I'm going to pat this all over the lid, bringing it slightly past my crease and then blending it in with any fluffy eyeshadow brush. You want to make sure that this copper color is very well blended out. Waterproof art liner in Scorched. Now I'm incorporating a very heavy cat eye into this look, but you can always change the liner to your preferences. As you can see, I've winged out both sides very heavily, but like I said, it's really up to your preference. Now going back to the shadow palette, I'm going to pick up the dark shimmery brown. And using any pencil brush, we're going to connect the crease to the end of the eyeliner to elongate the eye. You almost want to stencil it in and then blend it out. So using the same fluffy brush, go ahead and gently blend out that line until it's nice and smoothly melded into the bronzy color. And then you can start pulling the eyeshadow out and blend up toward the brow bone to perfect the look. To complete the color for the eye look, we're going to be using Beach Gem to add a pop of color to the lower lash line. I'm going to very gently rim the lower lash line. And don't forget to connect the end of the blue liner to the brown. That will help to make the eyeliner look a little bit more cohesive. And for my mascara today, I'll be using the new Oscillation Intensity. And now I'm going to use Lash Royalty Pasha Partial Lashes to keep the look nice and flirty. This is the completed eye look. Now I'm going to zoom out and we'll finish the rest of the face. Take the peach color from the eyeshadow quad and I'm going to take a flat powder brush and dip it right into the eyeshadow. We're going to be applying this color right along the apples, then taking it up toward the hollows of the cheeks and wearing it as our blush. For the lips, I'm going to be using my new Absolute New. The color I'm using is 311 Pale Petal, and to warm up the pink of the lipstick, I'm going to be using the Paradise Peach Color Fever Gloss. And this is the final look. I really hope you guys liked this video, and if you have any further questions about the products that I used, feel free to leave your questions below in the comments. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.